This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited, fueling growth for people.
The Public Treasury Department is critical to the government's overall financial success, and this key unit is marking a milestone as it celebrates 100 years of providing financial and accounting services to the government and the country. Highlighting the importance of the Treasury, Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis said the department is unique with a presence in all ministries and the sub-offices on the Family Islands. He says under the leadership of Treasurer Eugenia Cartwright, the Treasury continues to evolve to meet international compliance standards.
I wish to encourage you, Madam Treasurer, and your team of finance and accounting officers to continue to uphold the mission of the Public Treasury, which is to account, monitor, control, and carry out government policy as it relates to revenue and expenditure. This mission dictates the role that the Public Treasury must play for any government to accomplish the goals and aspirations of the people of the Bahamas.
Financial Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, John Roll, noted that the Treasury is one of the institutions pivotal to the financial health of the government and will continue to play a significant role in the country's success moving forward.
We seek to improve revenue collection. There's also a thrust to modernize how the government manages its expenses, and the Treasury is in the midst of all of these reforms. You will be pivotal to a success of the Bahamas as we move forward with a value-added tax. You are pivotal, and you're a part of the investments that are ahead of us to modernize the financial management systems of the government.
As the government seeks to implement tax reform with the introduction of value-added tax, President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation Chester Cooper says there needs to be a bridging of the communications gap on the subject. The tax had been fiercely opposed by the Coalition for Responsible Taxation, an offshoot of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, which is now conducting its own tax study. The group is planning to present a VAT alternative to government once completed. Meantime, Cooper says government should take the lead with tax reform as it knows the country's fiscal standing and why it needs to broaden its tax base.
We welcome the announcement by the Prime Minister. We continue to call on the government to continue to lead on the issue, and we hope over the course of the next few months we will see development in this area that will be changing the landscape of the fiscal environment of the Bahamas. On the revenue side,
now Prime Minister Perry Christie has announced that value-added tax would be introduced at a rate lower than 15% and suggested the initial July 1st implementation date would be pushed back, a move Cooper says he approves.
The coalition is doing its part in terms of conducting studies and providing information to the government. But the government is fully aware of the fiscal situation in the Bahamas. They understand completely what the issues are with respect to the implementation of taxes, why we need it, and what are the consequences of ongoing delay.
Well, this weekend, the nation's top spellers are in the capital for the Bahamas National Spelling Bee. 20 of our brightest students between the ages of 8 and 14, representing 17 districts, will compete for the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. to participate in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. National Spelling Bee coordinator Rochelle Cox-Hill says she's excited about the event and is pleased with the prizes awarded to the overall winner.
The national champion gets, of course, his or her own Merriam-Webster's dictionary, the most important thing. Of course, the trophy, they also get $750 in cash prizes, as a cash prize. They get a laptop computer from Custom Computers. They also will get a pass for Mario's Bowling for 10 of their friends on their birthday to have a party. They will also get a trip to Washington, D.C. where they will compete, and then there's tons of things that's involved in that trip, and that's fully paid. So our winner also gets a basket from Purple Patch, one from Miss Teresa McPhee, and a watch from Mr. Van Gater.
Now, the final round of competition will take place on Sunday starting at 3 p.m. and you can watch that live on the ZNS network. And we remember today the birthday of the late former Prime Minister Sir Lynden Pinling. He would have been 84. The former leader, now referred to as the father of our nation, died back in 2000 following a battle with cancer. He was 70. He also made history by becoming the first black premier of the Bahamas and forming the first black majority government in Parliament. The former Prime Minister has been honored over the years in the Bahamas, with the Nassau International Airport being renamed in his honor. Sir Lynden's portrait also appears on the Bahamian $1 bill, and a housing subdivision was named in his memory. And that does it for this portion of the news, but don't go anywhere. Sports with Julian Gibson is up next.